Can you hear me now? Thank you for reminding that I was muted. Uh, I have received exclusive information for you through some sources. A little later in this live chat session, I'll share that information with you. This dangerous development is in the pipeline. What is going to be the impact of this development on the unity of Ethiopia, on Ethiopian Federation? We'll see. And why is there need for this sort of decision made by Ethiopian PM Abiy's government? People complaining no sound. I think sound is fine now. Any problem? Sound is okay. Nisab Hosas. Let me welcome the participants as is our practice. Then we'll start the live chat. Alex Zio is the first one who commented. Michael Asefa, Corium, Johannes TDF. Johannes stays in touch with me. In the 2-year-long war, he was continuously in touch with me. His name is Johannes TDF, but he's very impartial when it comes to sharing information. We have Ablal Jibra, a regular participant. Money Talks. To Barakat Adam, Tom, Zach Z, RBK, another participant, regular, who wants me to try Injera, which I haven't tried so far. Michael Aseva says, good afternoon. Where he is, I think there is afternoon there. Tariko Raga, it's 11 p.m. here where I am now. Tariko Raga, Barakat Adam, Corium, Tom, Rahwa Tisfai, Tigisti, Johannes, Nisabho, a name in Amharic or Pagania. Jibrai, hello. P.O. Boy Tucker. I think he's one of my old viewers, but he joined today, luckily, in this live chat. But I haven't seen him a lot recently. Fact check. Tom, Samai, Bilal, Moshe Asai, a name in Amharic, Tigisti, Daniel Ayana, Speed 5, Edisalam, Fact check, Najat Ali, Araya, Woldekidan, Gibrai Hele, Mulugata Shifrao, a long comment. He says, I appreciate your effort digging what is happening on the ground here in Ethiopia. Stay, vibrate, communicating information. Gabriab Tekle Birhan, then we have Samson Hele, and others too. Muni has joined too after after a break. And he's commenting about the lack of heat in my house. Samson says, hi Sajid, I have been a follower from the time you started the show. You have been a valuable source of information. Thank you, brother Samson. Aman Voshe says hello. I think Aman contacted me by email too a few days ago. I remember Aman. Klaus New, Samuel Faleke, two very regular participants. Kidosan Ballet says, welcome back. Debisai Bijine says, yes. General Komsa is here too. He's calling me, yeah, Isaiah says, stop propaganda, man. It cannot be more ridiculous than that, by the way. People say, Sajid, you don't waste any opportunity to criticize SAS. And Com says, calling me SAS propaganda, man. By the way, I remember when I was covering Libyan civil war, people used to call me a CIA agent. I remember. And then I was accused of supporting Turkish intelligence agencies when I covered Turkish-Syria war. In Azerbaijan-Armenia war, I was accused of supporting Azerbaijan. Then in this in Iran Israel conflict, I was accused of being on the payroll of Arabs, Iranians. Then this war in Ethiopia, and I was accused of being on the payroll of TPLF. Then on the payroll of Ola. Now on the payroll of Fano, and on the payroll of Isaias as well. So I'm used to hearing such allegations. Tisfo says, Sajid, you should consider doing a PhD on the Horn of Africa. I don't want to do any degrees, by the way. I am not interested in learning through formal sources. I think learning and sharing your understanding with people is what matters now. Maybe academic degrees are not attractive for me. I don't want to waste my time studying politics at a university while I am doing it here, talking to people, getting first-hand information. This is the way to learn. I don't want to be a degree holder. It won't make any difference for me. Maybe if I want to build a profile, I want to be part of some institution, I should go for that. I'm not interested in working for any international news outlet or anyone. I want to be independent, and I want to be here with you. Why you cover a war all the time in 24 hours is asking question. Well, covering a war is not something bad, by the way. Fueling a war should be condemned. Covering a war impartially, neutrally is what is needed. So, Muni says Sajid has PhD in quoting the ladies. Muni, where did you see the evidence, by the way? I have not been able to find a single one so far. But you always accuse me. Thank you, CHF, for this generous contribution. And Muni sometimes calls me a smooth operator, as if I am very fond of trapping ladies. I respect them and I respect ladies. And what I do it very professionally. Bisrat says, your voice is boring. I cannot change my voice, Bisrat. Titi Veldo, thank you, Titi Veldo. Just to thank you, Titi Veldo says with her contribution. Thank you, Titi Veldo, for this contribution. Liz Elias has joined. She's from Tegarai, I remember. Titi Ovello is thanking me for quality updates. I wait to hear from you on my area of interest that you cover. Thank you, Titi. Your appreciation matters a lot. Kira is saying you have a beautiful daughter. By the way, when I recorded the last video about UAE's involvement, interference in the Horn of Africa, my daughter, a 3-year-old, was in the room. I said, you can stay in the room if you don't disturb me. She promised that she would not disturb me. But when I started making the video, then she started interfering, and I was in a flow. I did not want to stop the video, so she kept on disturbing me, but I kept on speaking. and I completed the video. So it wasn't on purpose. Sometimes she's in the room when I'm recording this video, recording videos, and she does not disturb me. But today she had other plans, I think. Samuel Falake is saying today's news story. Yeah, let's talk about today's news story, which is very important, by the way. What has Abiy done now? Someone is asking. Abiy is going to do something which is very alarming, by the way. Okay, let's come to the point because some people are complaining that we should not extend the introduction, the exchange of greetings. Thank you thank you those who are commenting about my daughter. Thank you. Now, can I start now? Ifra is asking about Somali region. Uh, it's difficult, honestly, to focus on entire Ethiopia. Even focus on just one region is difficult because so much is happening. But I'll try to cover Somali region too. Let me start the news story. It's about the Amhara region. Ethiopian intelligence agencies, Ethiopian government institutions, they've been trying to find the link between Pano groups and people in government. Not just in government, I mean, politicians, police officials, journalists, activists, intellectuals, others. Government believes that there is a link. It's not that Fano groups are operating on their own. They believe that the way Fano groups collect intelligence in advance shows that they have penetration in regional and federal political security structure. And they've been trying to find this link. They want to single out those who are part of the government, but they have support for Fano. In one or the other way, these elements are supporting Fano. This support could be in different forms. It could be in the form of provision of intelligence, in the form of provision of logistical support, provision of ammunition, etc. Government has now decided that it should start a major campaign to identify and arrest those elements in Amhara regional government and Ethiopian federal government which are supporting Fano and which are creating problems for the federal government. Obviously, most of these elements, most of these people would be from Amhara ethnic group. They could be from Amhara region or they could be from federal government. Some could be members of Prosperity Party. Some could be members of other parties. And lists have been prepared. A major crackdown is going to start. In coming days, if not hours, you're going to see the start of this crackdown. Arrests are going to be made. Arrests of those who are suspected of having links with Fano. By the way, arrests have been ongoing since May this year, but arrests not of top men, We've seen only a few top men arrested so far. Christian Tadale from Nama, Johannes Buyalo from Maha Regional Council, and Kasat Shagar from Addis Ababa Council. These are three big names arrested so far, and some journalists too, a few intellectuals too. But no big names arrested so far. But now government has decided that it should not be soft on pro-Fano elements. And it has decided to make a decisive move. Identification has been done, by the way. Government has done identification work. The Masgan Tirone's intelligence agency of Ethiopia has compiled lists containing names and the role of the people who are supporting Fano groups. Decisive action is going to start in coming hours. Government is a little reluctant because if large-scale arrests start, this move could backfire, like we saw that when government decided to disband Amhara Special Force. That decision backfired. ASF members joined Fano, and Fano turned into a strong group, which now is forced to reckon with in the Amhara region. The government is making a big decision, another big decision, that it wants to crush, or you can say it wants to identify, arrest pro-Fano elements. Egizaber is saying hi, Sajid, again and again. Welcome, Egizaber. Thank you for joining. One of my regular viewers stays in touch with me. Great man. So, lists have been prepared and arrests going to start. And 2 days ago, I did a video about alleged coup against Ethiopian people, if you remember. I said that Dandia was being shown as if he was plotting a coup against the Prime Minister. It was ridiculous. I had no plan to remove the Prime Minister of Ethiopia. Now, same terminology is going to be used. Coup. That a coup was being planned by these elements. And security agencies, intelligence agencies, through their work, through their hard work, identify the elements who were planning a coup, and they have managed to repel. They managed to foil this conspiracy. We have been seeing these claims of coups since the start of this year. Several Amhara intellectuals, journalists, activists have been arrested. All of them were accused of plotting coups. Now, another wave of thank you, Uni Musica, for contribution. Now, another wave of arrests going to start. I have a few names, by the way, who could be arrested, who could be detained, but I don't want to share names. It wouldn't be appropriate, maybe, to share names. But what I'm saying, even that is important, because it's a big development that Ethiopian government has decided to strike some decisive blows to Fano and pro-Fano elements. Question is, why is that now, at this point of time, government has decided to launch this crackdown? Government believes, as I said in some videos a few days ago, that government believes that it is in a strong position, or stronger position now. And due to Don Stykes, Fano groups are on the back foot. They are halting their advances, halting their operations, though fighting still ongoing. We cannot say Fano fighters have gone into hiding, or they have not gone into hiding. But Fano's activities have decreased a lot. And while Fano groups are under pressure, Fano commanders are acknowledging that Don Stykes have intensified, though they are saying that Don Stykes are not producing any results in terms of losses to Fano. Rather, civilians are dying. But we know that these drone strikes are hurting Fano fighters, and military now is not considering large-scale ground operation against Fano fighters. Military only focused on getting intelligence and hitting Fano fighters on the ground through these drone strikes and airstrikes. When I say drone strikes, I mean airstrikes too, because now Ethiopian bombers have received striking capability thanks to the delivery of a weapon system delivered by the UAE to Ethiopia a few weeks ago. Now, bombers can hit targets very precisely on the ground. So, bombers, TB2s, winglongs, newly acquired Kinsey, all are going to be used, all are being used against Fano fighters. The government believes that it is going to wipe out the Fano groups very soon. Fano groups at the back foot, government believes this is the right time to identify and fix those elements which are supporting Fano fighters. Now, those who are going to be arrested, who are they? Are they politicians? Are they ENDF members? Are they police officials? The people going to be arrested are going to be from different walks of life. Politicians too. And we know which politician, those politicians who have been pushed aside by PM Abiy's government could be targeted. Trabzon is talking about a Kinsey. I'll respond to it a little later. So those politicians who have been sidelined since last year, they're going to be targeted. Those politicians who remained silent, did not support the operation on Fano, and who have secret ties with Fano, they're going to be targeted to, arrested. Police officials, police and militia officers and militia officials are going to be targeted as well. And someone is talking about Damak. I don't know. I'm not going to share any names. And journalists, intellectuals are already being arrested. They're not part of the government, by the way. Now, this move, the target of this decision is going to be people who are part of the government. Journalists, activists, intellectuals are already being arrested, and some are in prison. But this time, government wants to clear its home. Government believes that if the house is not cleared, if the house is not in order, Fano groups cannot be completely defeated. That is why decision has been made. Now, repercussions. What are the repercussions of this decision? A little later in this live chat. What is your source? Come on, don't ask questions about sources. Do you expect I would expose my sources? If you provide information to me, should I share your names, your identity? No, it does not happen like this. We're bound to protect our sources, but we should be able to rely to judge a source. That is what we should do. Otherwise, no one tells the identity of sources. And you shouldn't ask about the sources. Someone is insisting about telling of names. No, I won't tell any names. East Afro dude, it can be those who are sympathetic to Fano. It's not just about sympathy. No. There is large Amhara population which have sympathy for Fano. It's more than that. These are those people who are supporting Fano, who are providing support to Fano, financial support, logistical support, support in terms of provision of intelligence, etc. These are not ordinary residents of the Amhara region supporting, having sympathy for Fano fight. These are people in some top positions, in good positions, and they're supporting Fano. Cherry A. Jambiri says, "Hi Sajid, I subscribed 3 years ago as soon as you started covering our northern war. You're a reliable person. Thank you." Thank you, Cherry. Electronic Repair Hab says, "Is there any top Prosperity Party member in the list?" Obviously, obviously, obviously. Mesfan, do you believe Abiy is a madman? I never said that Abiy is a madman. I never talked about his mental stability. That is how leaders operate, by the way. All leaders operate in the same manner. They want to consolidate their power. They want to crush opposition. People are writing a few names, but please don't force me to confirm or reject. I don't want to create shock waves. I don't want to. I don't want people to panic. Those who are supporting Fano, they know. I think they know what they're doing. Zimbalo says, "Please say the Honorable King Abiy when you address our King of Kings." I cannot do that by the. I address people by names, no matter who they are. Exaber is asking question: do you think Fano can survive the onslaught of heavy weapons since they're not surrendering? Not heavy weapons. Their main, the main threat for Fano is from drones, from air power. They have been defending from these heavy weapons for months. Tanks, artillery pieces, etc., are not very relevant, by the way, in this war. Moni Moni has donated 100 US dollars. Moni Moni, are you all right today? Uh, so, thank you, Aman, as well for contribution. So, the Fano groups have been fighting. They have been defending themselves. They've been conducting offensive operations. Tanks, artillery pieces, heavy weapons could not bring about any change. But Fano started suffering losses when precision strikes began. Ikinji, TB2, Winglong, and the newly delivered Altaric bomb system from UAE to Ethiopia all are hurting Fano fighters. Can they survive faced with this massive air campaign? This is the question. Thank you, S, for contribution. Alex Avoke is talking about a video from South Wollo showing bombardment on civilians. I saw this video, by the way, Alex. Problem is that when Fano fighters are hit, you cannot distinguish between Fano and civilians. No one can, by the way. Fano fighters, in most cases, don't have any particular uniform. They're very lightly, they're armed with light weapons. I always say that the target is Fano, target of strikes is Fano, not civilians. Civilians are dying too because they're with Fano. They're supporting Fano, for logistical support to Fano. But target is Fano. And since I am in touch with people who are on the ground on both sides, so I get the entire picture. Fano fighters are being targeted. You cannot distinguish between an ordinary Fano fighter and a civilian. It does not mean that civilians are not dying. Maybe civilians are dying too. But again, I would say target is Fano. Ethiopian Air Force does not want to use its very expensive laser munitions on a few civilians because it would be counterproductive to hit civilians. It would increase the support for foreign fighters. If civilians are hit in large number by Ethiopian Air Force, what will be its impact? It will increase the support for foreign fighters. So hitting of, thank you East Afro dude from contribution. So hitting of civilians does not make sense. Porno groups are being hit, but in some cases, civilians are dying in collateral damage. In some cases, they're supporting porno fighters. And you will never see, by the way, porno groups acknowledge their losses. Since I get information through multiple sources and people are very open with me, so I get the feel from inside. Otherwise, publicly, you would never see Fano groups acknowledge their losses. Thank you, Muni Muni. But I was worried about your state of mind. Yeah, T is asking very important question. What is going to be the repercussion of this action? Yeah. This is the question which should be considered. Has the government gauged the likely reaction, or government believes it can control the repercussions? Well, this decision, if implemented swiftly, could backfire. Like we saw that when ASF was arrested, ASF when ASF members were disbanded, when ASF was disbanded, that decision backfired. That was the start of resurgence of Fano. And if large-scale arrests of pro-Fano elements start in Amhara region on federal level, it could backfire as well. People in power could decide to support Fano. Maybe it would increase. It will lead to increase in the support for Fano. That just depends how government is going to implement its plan. Maybe government will implement the plan gradually. Maybe government will prepare the ground, like we saw that when Johannes Buyale was arrested. Before that, government leaked an audio call recording between Johannes Buyale and a Fano commander. Johannes was shown as if he was giving updates to a Fano commander, and Fano commander was giving updates to Johannes. So maybe government will prepare the ground before the start of this massive campaign of arrests. And government will share factual or fake evidence against the people who are going to be arrested. But it can go both ways. Either it can lead to serious hit in the support for Fano, or it could lead to increase in support for fund. Adam Ahmed Ibrahim. Hi, Sajid. How are you? I'm fine, Adam. Samuel Falek's question is important. Can we say Abiy's regime did not succeed to counter Fano militarily on the ground offense and air campaign? If not, why cut down at this point of time? No, I don't agree with you. I think government wants to crush Fano. So government believes this is the time that since Fano is at the back foot and drones are working, this is the time to completely crush Fano and pro-Fano violence. That is why this decision has been made. It's not that government has failed. No. Kadisha says, what would happen if Fano wins the war? What is the definition of win? Kira is saying Fano is copying TPLF's fighting mechanism, hiding behind civilians and later crying genocide when they get hit by drone. That is what all groups in Ethiopia say, by the way. Whenever they're hit by drone, they say genocide. I mentioned two terms in a live chat session 2 days ago. That these two terms are being used, will be used in coming days, weeks, months. Genocide will be used by opposition groups, armed groups. And coup will be used by government. Government will crush opposition, accusing the opposition of staging coups. By opposition, I mean political opposition, armed groups, etc. While armed groups will say government is committing genocide. Both terms are not being used correctly, by the way. Samson Zirom, one of my members, has joined saying, Sajid, help us make sense. RB government leadership confuses me. When it comes to economic decisions, regional political alliance, internal stability, ruling party unity, it's a chaos. I agree that Abiy's government is failing on several fronts. Economy is one of such fronts. Foreign policy at the front. Unity in the party, definitely. You rightly pointed out all the relevant areas. I agree. But who is going to challenge this government? Question is there anyone which can force the government to change its course? Opposition almost crushed. Military hand in glove with the government. Regional, international players cannot bring about internal change in Ethiopia. TPLF, a seasoned player, now pushed to Tigray only. Despite all the shortcomings, all the incompetency, Abiy is set to survive. Government is set to survive at the cost of the suffering of the people of Ethiopia. Samper says, sorry, I am late. What's the new dangerous move? Samper, I spoke for around 20 minutes on this new move. Please re-watch this live chat session. That is how you'll be able to understand. Kadisha is Ethiopian recession. I don't know about the exact parameter to say that it was into recession. Maybe an economist can explain better. What I know is that Ethiopia is facing crunch of shortage of exchange reserves, foreign exchange reserves. Its birr is losing value. It is not getting any big investments, bailout package from IMF is not coming. Remittance is not increasing as well. So overall, and Ethiopia has been forced to request a loan payment rescheduling, which it has got for 2 years. Ethiopia has defaulted on payment of interest on euro bonds. All these things point towards economic crisis. To say that Ethiopia is into a recession, maybe an expert can speak on that. Where is Damakazadu? Yeah, Damakazadu is silent. By the way, Damakazadu is surviving. So his militia is surviving. So he's there in Umara Volkai, Sagade. We heard several months ago that the administration in Volkai, Tamara, was going to be disbanded, and the militia led by Colonel Damakazadu was going to be expelled from Volkai. It did not happen. He's there. He's surviving. His militia are there. He only wants Volkai Tamara Sagade to be part of Amara. He does not want to fight in Gujum or Shoa. And I think to the extent of what he has been struggling for decades so far, he's in control there. I think he will rebel once Ethiopian government decides to disband the administrative setup in Humera Volkas. Tesfahun says, can government negotiate with both Fanu and Olaf? Why can't the government negotiate with both of them? If government can talk to Olaf, why don't Fanu? Igisti says, I am so tired of this conflict. Everyone is tired of ethnic, religious, political conflicts in Ethiopia because nothing good comes out of these conflicts. But conflicts, one after the other, continue. Alex Avoka says, Sajid, do you know that at least 90% of Amhara youths believe that all Amhara deaths displacement caused by TPLF? Well, now you cannot blame TPLF. It would be unfair to blame TPLF now. TPLF is no more a major player now. It is now Oromo versus Amhara, rivalry for dominance in Ethiopia. Maldini said, do you think the government is over ambitious to crush Fano? Problem is that what is Fano's objective? What is Fano's stated goal? Removal of Ethiopian PM Abiy. Capture of Addis Ababa. That is what Fano says publicly. You heard from that Amhara Popular Front representative, Devola Giardis, who clearly said that Fano fighters want to remove the government. They want to reach Addis Ababa. They want to bring about change in Ethiopia. So it means that Ethiopian government believes that if Fano is not crushed, it would remove the government. If Fano is allowed to operate freely, one day it would try to remove the branch of the government. That is why it's not about being over ambitious. Government wants to crush Fano because Fano wants to remove the government. Barak, Sajid, I asked you. What did you ask, Barak? Could you ask again? Digua said, well, you're trying to scare me. Is Fano over ambitious? Yeah. Here we can say that Fano's ambitions should have been private, by the way. They should have made it public. You don't make your such ambitions public, by the way. They should have come up with a political manifesto. They made some big claims which made the government insecure, I think. Barak, no question. What is your question? Please ask the question. Important question from Michael SF. How did Ola survive the air campaign? Yes, very valid question. If Fano fighters are finding it able to survive, how is that Ola surviving? I don't think, by the way, that Ola has been tested the way Fano groups are being tested. Only a few dawn strikes have been conducted against the Oromo Liberation Army in Oromia in the last 2 years. Less than 10, I would say, because I have covered almost all the major dawn strikes on Ola in Oromia. I have not seen large-scale air campaign launched against Ola fighters in Oromia. Fano groups are being bombarded with drones. Uh, so definitely, government is not giving equal importance to military operation against both groups. Ola, and I think Ola has adjusted, by the way, to these air campaigns. Ola is a seasoned player when it comes to guerrilla war. Ola people know where to settle, how to survive. Fano groups are relatively new groups when it comes to fighting security forces. And I've been saying if Fano groups somehow manage to survive a few months, you will see them emerge as a bigger threat in coming months. This is their initial testing phase. But I think if talks totally collapse between Ola and government, third round of talks, which was hinted at by the Field Marshal Jula, we could see start of similar air campaign against Ola too in coming months. But too early to say. Government so far is focused on the Amhara region, on Fano groups, I believe. Hira, can we say Damak is with Prosperity Party? I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that he is with Prosperity Party. He got what he wanted. He will rebel once he loses what he's in control of. So it's very natural that he is so far comfortable. Ibo Press says, hi Sajid. Thank you, Ibo. Agona, can the Ethiopian government afford to buy bombs for the drone? That would be a very costly war. Well, the government has already bought bombs. There was no need to buy Kinji, by the way, an expensive drone. Government bought Kinji. There was no need to buy, maybe no need to buy the Altaric guided bomb system too, but government bought it. Government wants to upgrade, enhance the capabilities of forces to crush armed groups in Ethiopia. No matter how many people die, it does not matter. Government wants to be in a position to crush the groups, armed groups in Ethiopia. Thank you for joining this live chat session. 51 minutes have passed, viewers. I try to share in detail the coming scenario which could unfold in coming days or weeks in Ethiopia. I think Ethiopian government has decided to crush Fano, has decided to strike decisive blows to Fano groups. In coming days, not Fano fighters, but their supporters, their support bases are also going to be tested. Where is the freedom moment, Mastisha, someone is asking. So let's see how government implements its plan of crushing Fano groups and Fano supporters. But large-scale arrest campaign in Ethiopia, in Amhara, could backfire as well. So it's too early to say. Let's wait. Let's see what the government does. Thank you for joining this live chat. It was wonderful to be with you. Uh, those who are regularly joining these live chats are helping me a lot in understanding the development. And after these live chats, some people contact me through email as well. We exchange views, we exchange information. Thank you for building this commendable community of people from Ethiopia, Eritrea, from all regions of Ethiopia, from neighboring countries too. And here, I think people have more tolerance for each other. I can see people exchanging views, commenting, responding. It's good to see. Thank you. Thank you for being part of this wonderful community. See you tomorrow in the next live chat session. Thank you. Bye bye. See you. Stay blessed.